Okay, can everybody hear me? Hopefully everything is kind of syncing up. I don't want to show my face yet because I don't want you to see my face while I'm trying to figure things out with that concentrated look. But I'm just kind of, I think there's like a delay, so I just want to make sure I can hear you. Okay. Ah, yay. You can also see this beautiful artwork that I created. I spent so many 5 minutes creating. This is awesome. Okay, I'm so glad that people can hear me. So I think I can start bringing in my camera. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to do my front end table. There we go. Hello. Hello. Hey. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I'm going to kind of switch to my... I think the chat's delayed, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to kind of not pay too much attention to the chat, but I'll try to at the same time because I don't want to be off a bit, and it's going to be quite a bit. But I do see a lot of familiar faces. Thank you all so much for joining me. Love the crab, thank you. That's actually supposed to be my logo for my company, but I ended up just using my first name. So I actually don't have any plans whatsoever. I thought that this was actually going to take a lot more work to try to get this working. To be honest, I was shocked that it actually went pretty smoothly. I just pressed a couple buttons, and then here we are. So the only thing is, like I said, I got this delay, and I'm not sure if I'm looking at active or not. But what I'm thinking we can do is I'll just do a little introduction with myself first, in case anyone's not familiar with who I am, and then we'll figure it from there. I might do a little doodle. Maybe I can do some show and tell of some stuff that I have, and we'll see. And I do have my cup of tea to calm my nerves down. So I'm not new to streaming. I started on Twitch and I did about 5 episodes of this, and no one really showed up, but I just talked to myself and I crafted. 30-second delay. Thanks, Roberta. And so I really liked it, but I have a hard time staying on track. So, and so even though I have plans to do things, the problem is I don't actually do it. So if I say I'm going to create a stream on September the 16th, then I am pinging a friend at nighttime the night before saying, hey, can you help me, because I haven't done anything yet, and I want to make sure this is working. And so that's kind of what happens, and then eventually you just kind of let it go, because it does create a lot of stress, and we don't want stress. We just want to have a lot of fun. However, I do love doing this. I do love meeting people. I do love crafting, and I just think this is just a fun thing to do. So trying to get out of my comfort zone of just forcing myself to put it in the calendar and then go with it. So this is what we did. And so not new to it, but new to YouTube creating a live. And I have been live with Lynn. Many of you are familiar with her, and playing some games. And I've been on Craft Roulette 2 or 3 times, which is fantastic. Awesome show. If you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, it is a game show that happens almost every Friday. And it's essentially making a card following 4 parameters. Check it out. It is awesome. If anyone wants to put that in, I don't know if anyone could put links in there, but in the chat. I am a Canadian-born guy. I'm initially from Ontario, but I've moved to BC, lived in Vancouver for most of my time here, and then recently moved to Victoria, where I now have my own home and a beautiful garden where I am learning how to keep it alive and growing and creating some food for myself. So that's initially me, and on my spare time I craft and try to create some whimsical, fun, imaginative ideas. So my cards are usually just because cards. Yes, yay Canada. And my cards are usually just because I don't follow a theme per se. I just create and I draw, and whatever comes to my head, I put it down. And sometimes they're weird, sometimes they're not, but a lot of times they're not specific to happy birthday or Merry Christmas or such. Except for Halloween. I love Halloween, so I will put Happy Halloween on a card. Ah, yes. When I was in the States, helping out Trinity Stamps with the make and take, I've had a few people out of the blue just say, "Are you Canadian?" And I never knew why. And because I don't hear it. But apparently the about is quite different. I don't think, I think you have to catch me off guard to say, if I purposely say about, I think that's correct, right? Right? But yeah, so that's me. I love to laugh. I don't take things too seriously in person. Off camera, yes, but we all do. And but I love to bring smiles. I love to bring just love. Like that, I am as much love as I possibly can. If you want to give it back to me, then we will be best friends. If not, that is totally fine. You don't need to. I'm still here, and when you're ready, I'm here. And that's it. I don't have any more much about me to talk about. So I guess what we could do, unless, okay, how about this? I don't know how to do polls. I don't know how to do all the fancy things. But if you want me to think about a Craft Roulette card, I can do that. If you want me to show you my new purchase, I can show you that. Or if you want me just to color, I can do that. So those are 3 options. Just let me know if any of those pique your interest for a first stream. I'm not expecting to finish anything. I just want to chat and try to keep used to looking at the chat happening. Lynn says I still sound Canadian with my about. I think that's what she's saying. Paula. Yes, I believe I did get your card. So I'm on the Craft Roulette. Oops, I gotta not show the envelope. Sorry, I have a bad habit. I am on the Craft Roulette Patreon, and I got spoiled with a lot of birthday cards. And I've wrote dates on them, so I know when to reply back to them. And I'm pretty certain I got your card, Paula. Maybe not. I did post a picture on my on the Facebook group. I swear I saw one from you. Yeah, there it is. That one, right? I believe that's the one that I will not show the front of it. Hello, Jen. Thank you for coming. New purchase. Oh, I see a lot of new purchase ideas. Okay. So the reason I'm asking about the new or suggesting the new purchase thing. Oh, sorry, Paula. I'm only seeing half of the chat. What's scrolling by? Yes, but so the reason I mentioned the new purchase is because I'm familiar with this new company called AALL Create. They're not new. And I really love the style. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with the style of this. It's like grungy. It's like Tim Holtz, but very bright, very colorful. And so, of course, then I got suckered into their product line. So what they have is a gold and a platinum box that you can purchase, and then you get a bunch of items. I was going to create a video on this, but I just haven't got around to it. So this is a perfect opportunity. to show you what is actually inside. Yes, so people love their artwork and their stuff. Super funky. I love their washi tape. They have new washi tape that is not in this box, but I want to see it. I want to play with it, sorry. It's where you actually lay out strips, and when you're done, you fill out a whole panel of an image. It's pretty neat. You have great handwriting. Thank you. The company is AALL Create here. I wrote it down very small in here. So I will open this up, but essentially, if you are interested in buying the gold or the platinum purchase, this is the platinum. Of course, I went all out to make sure I got all the stuff. But like with all these type of products, you are going to be getting the stuff that is old. Does the stuff you order smell like fish? I got... I did not smell like the product, but live we will smell it together. Unfortunately, I will be the only one that smell it, but we can do that together. I will say that I have smelt paper before, and some of them have a funky smell on them, but so I'll go those pretty quickly, probably. I would love to learn how to color and design like them. And this is why I bought this product, was because I really want to learn this style. The one thing, and this irks me it's not a big deal, but it irks me a little bit, is that they give you a die, but not the stamp set. I am going to look to see if I can buy the smell-o-vision. I go to see if I can find the stamp set, because look how cute that is. I love the little mice and the little cherry. Like, that's totally what I would draw something like that, with a big cherry and stuff. It's just really cute. Unfortunately, it's kind of useless without the stamp. So I'm not a big fan when companies do that. It's better just to kind of toss that one. But if I can find the stamp, then we are good to go. So it's a box mixed of different items, stencils and stuff, and this is kind of the inspiration that you see. So if you like this style, then you're going to love this company. So I don't know how they do it, and I'm looking for classes. This is what I want to do. Just, it's really bright, it's grungy. Their dies are all weird shapes and not symmetrical. It's just such cool products. And then there's the front there. So, like, how cool is that? Just the winter, the brightness of the red, and it's really, really cool. So this is what I got. And you could get this too if you buy a box. So we'll start with the smelly ephemera. So you get one that comes in, so it's a bunch of clocks, and they're all just pre-cut for you. And actually my mic's over there. So I'm going to smell this. Yes. It does smell like fish. That's weird. Ooh. It's not strong fish. It's it's like this. It's like a subtle, like, did you cook fish today? Smell. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to air those out. So they're actually quite thick. Not chipboard, but thick. They do smell. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Cod? Maybe like a cod? So there we go. So we got some smelly clocks. And then we have these other ones that are colored. And the reason I'm saying colored is because you'll see soon. And this is a bunch of, looks like France, but it could be all different European countries. And it's the same idea. Salmon or mackerel. That one doesn't smell too much like fish. It's not pleasant, but yeah. So they've got the same idea. It's a thick paper, and these are really neat. I'm not sure what I'll do with these because I don't make traveling cards, but I love the image. I can even use those as inspiration for my coloring and such. I just like it. Really neat. Really cool items. And then also what you get, I got some ephemera today too. Now I'm thinking about I should Cordelia, definitely smell your ephemera. That's what we're learning today. You want to smell it. You want to make sure the good quality ephemera. Yeah, they got a smell. And then so here's a bunch that are not colored, and I'm excited about this because this allows you to color them yourselves to any brightness. So I'm going to get my alcohol markers and I'll make these match the pattern paper or the designs that I'm working on. And then I will be able to match and add some whimsical effects to it. So this is what I'm really excited about because I love just weird shapes and adding them to cards. I don't need my card to make sense. So adding one of these on it, yeah, it kind of looks like a plant. It also looks like bowling pins if I add more of them. So whatever I feel like doing. I like these. These are one of my favorite pieces in this box. And the fact that you can color them yourself is just fantastic. And of course they do smell like fish a bit, so you know they're good quality. And then you get about 3 stencils, and these ones are kind of fun. I'll go with the more plain one here. And it's not plain, it's just your typical circle style. And I do have pastes by Simon that I have not used yet. So I really want to use these. And then the second one is these leaves, and I really like these. You know what? Is it just the ephemera? Is it just the ephemera that smells? Yeah, okay. That smells like a normal stencil. We're good. We're good. And then this one, look how cool this one is. This one has this really 4 flowers. It's going to be hard as heck to ink, but if you can pull it off, look how cool that is. That's really neat. I just love how dainty and awesome this is. The neon pastes, yes, I do, Roberta. I haven't played with them yet. I still have them just sitting here in a box, and I need to play with them because they're really pretty. Okay, and then you get 2 stencils. No, I already said that. This is washi tape. I will say, when we go back to smelling crafting supplies, that I purchased from Graphic 49, and their paper has a smell to it. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but I definitely noticed that. But this is the first time I ever smelt fish. So that is something I learned. So we have 2 washi tapes. They're both black. And it's not the new ones where you can create a panel. This is probably just the one that's older. And there we go. So that's kind of cool. Actually, that's really nice. When you pull it out, I didn't realize there was like that white see-through almost. That's neat. They have a clearance section of 70% off. Ah. Stop that, Lynn. Yes, definitely check them out. We need to maybe work together and create some fun cards. We can all learn how to make these really cool designs. Now, I think this one is going to be actually, I'm not going to open this one. I think it's going to be the same thing. It looks very similar, but in a large. Yeah. So we know what it looks like. It's just a large, so you have an option. Okay, and then you get a bunch of stamps. You get all these stamps. Now, some are hit and miss. 17 pages of clearance. You got to buy them now before they're sold out. So some of them are hit and miss, but what I find with this company is they're fantastic for backgrounds. Like, you color up an image and then you can create a background. Okay, so we have the first one here, and this is pretty big. And he had these really cool clusters of birds and flowers, and then just these little splatters and really neat things. Got some text up here, and they're quite large. So that would be pretty neat to color if I could do it. But if you actually had this in the background as well, that'd be pretty neat. But imagine that style of these bright colors with that. How cool would that be? I love this stamp. I shouldn't have showed this one first because this is one of my favorites. I love this. But we gotta see if I can actually make something. So then we have this one. Once again, it's just random pieces of things that you can add to your card. So I can see this one once again being like a background. So if you have a really fun ink smushed background, adding something like this can make it kind of fun. But even this flower alone, if you wanted to make a very simple card, just using that flower is really, really neat. And you can create your with sympathies or a thing like that. Or you can just have a card that says knapweed or a knapweed. I guess that's what that is. You could do that. I don't know what that would mean, but but it would be pretty cool, of course, obviously. And then to continue with the flower themes, we have this one. I love this, and this is once again really large. So if I take a panel, this is an A2 size panel. So you can see how big this is. This is quite large. It doesn't even, you can't even fit it on the card. And so, but that, I love that. Like, once again, that image alone is great for a background or an image. And if you had like a stamp set, for example, which I'll show soon, of a little pixie, then you can have it having a scene in there where now these flowers look like they're just ginormous homes or trees, I should say, not homes, trees. So that's fun. And then here you have your typical background stamp and some sentiments. And I just love the broken text font. It's just so much. I just love it. It's just something unique. This one makes me laugh. That hedgehog is quite... I love that hedgehog. It's just, it's weird. It is weird, but it's fun. And so you have these little teeny images. This one, once again, quite a large stamp set, but the images themselves are quite small. Hey, Jay. Thanks for joining. And these are all really great for just adding some background stamping, because the images themselves have text on them. So it's not as easy to color. These ones would be okay. You can stamp those. They have nothing, but that's essentially it. And then we have this large one, space stamp set. And this one's just as cool as the flower one. I'm just thinking, if you had your black background, or if you were able to make that galaxy background and you just fussy cut this out as best as you can, obviously you can't get the splatter, but if you can kind of get that to work, that would look just so cool with this image here. Maybe put on some vellum so that it does a nice transition so that it doesn't look so bad. I think that's pretty cool. These ones I thought were starfish at first, but I think they're just space starfish. So those are those things that float in the sky that we usually don't see. and then we have the shuttle. That's pretty cool. I never thought about adding flowers to a shuttle, but here you go. Now, if I ever have that come up on Craft Roulette, I'm set. Flowers and space. I'm good. Okay, and then we have this stamp set. I didn't actually know what it was saying until later, but it's full of wisecracks. So the stamp itself is kind of just, just typical little shapes. I never know what to do with those things, but the sentiments, those are funny. So we have one that says, "Keep the dream alive, hit the snooze." Perfect. I love those. If you have anything from the Rabbit Hole Design, those old coffee stamps, that would be kind of fun on those. "Honesty is the best policy, but insanity is the best defense." That's perfect. "I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy." Oh goodness. I don't drink too much, but I also wouldn't want a frontal lobotomy either. So I think I would prefer that bottle. "I officially resigned from adulthood. I said that the first day I turned to an adult." "You remind me of a software update. Whenever I see," no, hold on, that's cut off. "Whenever I see you, I think not now." Oh, that's mean. We wouldn't send that to anyone, would we? Maybe. "Eat cake to stay safe. The more you weigh, the harder it is to kidnap." I love that one. And that one would work well with any type of like zombie image. These ones are from Artful Angels. Any zombie image, just draw a cake in the hand, and yeah, that's perfect. I love that. Perfect for Halloween. "When one door closes, another one opens. But if you own a good axe, why should you give a such and such?" And "To make mistakes is human, 100%. To blame someone else for your problems is strategic." Yes. So there you go. Those are some fantastic sentiments that we may or may not use. I guess we would really need to make sure we know who we are giving it to, because that's the beauty of being silly and sarcastic and teasing. They're all a fine line between love and not hate, but it's quite a fine line. And so when you are treating someone, you really need to know the person, because some people like to be teased and some people don't. Just like you could be okay with someone teasing you, but the exact same teasing from someone else is not okay. It just doesn't feel good. And so just remembering who you work with or who you give it to is always nice. We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but we also want to make people laugh. And so it is something I'm always thinking of. Okay, like we're still going. Like there's still tons of stuff here. Here's a fun one. This is a slimline style. You don't have to do it slimline. So there's the card here. That's an A2 size here. But this one's nautical. Like how fantastic is that? Just the details. I think Tim Holtz had some similar type styles where you have like there's like labels and lines and stuff, like if you're sketching. And I think this kind of reminds me of it. It's fantastic. I think it would create a beautiful card, even if you just ink this in a dark blue. Sarcasm is your native language. Yes, mine too. And I love being sarcastic, but I do sometimes need to watch out to who you do, because some people don't register what sarcasm is, and that gets awkward pretty quickly. Love this. I hope I use this stamp. It's one of my favorites. And here we go. Smaller. So now we're getting to the A2 sizes. And this one is definitely a lot of fun. Just a whole bunch of grunge and mess and little birds that you can either stamp as a whole panel if you wanted to, or you can take pieces of that on a nice background. Very similar as this one. I love this one as well. I've never seen anything like this, where it's just you don't need to do it. They've created it for you. So you can just add that to the background and you're set. Of course, if you do it yourself, then you can do in different colors, but that's okay. And to continue on with that, we have a bunch of pluses. We can always go good with some pluses on your card. Same thing, text background, swirls, bunch of mess, but it's fantastic. And then we go to the smaller images. And this is the one I've already used. This was actually what I used for my 100th card for Craft Roulette. I use these little pixies, and I think they're one of my favorite stamps that I'm going to be using for such a long time. Oh, thank you, Carol. Yes, I think it's such a great box of assortments. And once again, this is part of the platinum box. So if you go to their website, I believe they have a platinum and a gold still. And you are more than... If you don't have their stuff, then this is a great box to have. Let's put it that way. But I love this stamp set because they're very easy to color. These are like so easy. And you don't need to go into like perfect quote unquote coloring techniques because they have a bunch of shading on them anyways. And if you just color them solid, they look just as good as if you put a lot of detail and highlighting and all that. So I love this. And you may be familiar with this one. This is what I used on Lynn's Live last. And that was the dog / anteater debate that we had. It's definitely a dog, but some have thought that maybe it was an anteater if we were to cut off that. Hello, Melissa. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going through, almost done, a purchase that I had gotten a while back from AALL Create. And I have 2 final stamps, and that's this one, which I don't know what to do with. So I have a hard time with these type of stamps. I think background, you just stamp them in the background, I think. But they're kind of cute. I like this one. That one's fun. And then the last one is a ram. This one's, so here we go. This is the size. So you could stamp that in the center if you wanted to. I'm not sure. It looks more, this one intrigues me. This one really intrigues me. But it is, oh, the shipping. Yes. But everything's expensive to ship. So, to me, I don't notice anymore. Hey, Brian, thank you for joining me. And so this was the same thing, and I thought that was pretty cool. So this is what you get in a platinum. So if you don't own anything of theirs, oh, and of course this die. So if you don't know any of their stuff and you are as fascinated as I am about learning to make these type of cards, and I highly, highly, highly recommend just going to either their website or their Instagram and just see what they create. They have these whole new series of houses that is just, it blows my mind how they're doing that with watercolor. So this is what I would love to be able to do. And so I decided that I would practice with their platinum box, which is most likely their older stock, which is perfectly fine on me. Perfectly fine. Unfortunately, shipping always does cost a lot of money. And there's nothing I can do about that except just say, do it. No, don't do it. Don't say I told you to do that. That wouldn't be good on me. So that is what I have purchased lately. I've also purchased Buttons Galore more, but I already did a video on that. So, oh, hello, Allison. And anyone else I keep missing to see you. Their Facebook page is awesome too. Oh, yes, I should probably check that out. I haven't ventured that far into the interweb of checking out all of the fan pages. The prices are fabulous too. I think I'm getting lost in the conversation here, so I'm not going to assume I know what they're talking about. So yeah, that was my most recent purchase. Very happy with it, and I would definitely recommend it if you want to try their stuff. I see there's a pheasant stamp in clearance. Never seen. Yeah, they actually have quite a few stuff. And if you weren't here in the beginning, the ephemera smells like fish, and so we've determined that that is a good thing. And where in the world are you? That is a good thing. And so do not be alarmed when you buy their ephemera. Okay, where am I? I am in my craft room. I'm not sure if you want more details than that. So you'll just have to let me know. Okay, so that is done. I think maybe we should just do some... Thank you, Roberta. Oh, my puppy's at the window. Hello. It's missing me. Aw. And so maybe we should do some scrap and stamp. BC carries a lot of AALL. Oh, I know, Allie. I'm always scoping out their website. That is my Canadian shop I go to. They're located right in Vancouver, I believe. I'm kind of hoping that I was kind of hoping that they would do their... If anyone's not familiar with Scrap and Stamp, it is a Canadian company. Tons of product. And they actually, if you're thinking about buying something from them, wait till the end of the month, because at the end of the month, they will, it seems to be randomly picking one company and they'll do 30 or 31% off. So if you're getting near close to the month, just wait and see if they pick your company, and then you can get that discount. That's a little hack, a little Canadian hack, I guess. I have a little Frenchie, two Frenchies actually, Sophia and Benson. One is a fawn color and the other one is a black color. And they are adorable and sweet, and they annoy the heck out of me, and I love it. We have a little bell that's on the door that we use to train them to say you need to go outside, but now they just love being outside, that they ring it all the time. Oh, congratulations. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy that platinum box. I'll have to see what it is. Tag me wherever you show it so I can see what's inside your box. I do 2 lives per week for Scrap and Stamp. Yes, I know. I get the newsletter and I see it, and sometimes I'm in the back watching, but a lot of times I think it's when I'm not available. But it's quite impressive. More fish sent for you, Pam. Gosh, I love French. Frenchies are... Hello, Yvette. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Frenchies, like, if you see anything to do with Frenchies on Instagram, like videos, I didn't believe it until I had them. They're all the same. They're clowns. They are the clowns of the dogs, and very similar to Boston Terriers, I believe, but Boston Terriers are a lot more hyper. I wish I could show you photos, but this is my first stream, so I don't have everything hooked up to easily show you stuff. But I'm a proud father. two Frenchies. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking maybe we could do some drawing. Maybe we can work on a Craft Roulette card. Maybe we can do something like that, and I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. Or yeah, let's do that. I'm trying to keep an eye on the clock because I know I will talk forever and I'll never get off once I get going. What will happen is I'll just be chatting away, and then I'll realize that everyone had fallen asleep and left. It would just be an empty room. So that's the way it is. But I'm trying to keep an eye on that so that we keep it within the hour, just to be kind. So to fill up that time, I'm thinking maybe we can just chat and I'll draw and color and whatnot. And we'll see if we can spark some fun conversation going forward. If you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, I did give the spiel earlier, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. And if you're familiar with it, but you don't know the parameters are, they are a French bulletin board, winter dessert colors. I need to add a balloon and beads. Oh boy. Oh boy. French bulletin board. Okay. What's a French bulletin board? I don't know. I missed this week's episode of Craft Roulette, and now you caught me. I can't lie and say I watched it. Okay. Craft Roulette is the ultimate paper crafting card making game show challenge almost every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Slideshow. Last week's card submission starts at 7:10 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Thanks, Rosie. Hello, Susan. Welcome. We are wasting time looking at products and staring at this blank piece of white paper. Oh, goodness. Okay. I saw Kendra say something. I can't wait to release the KCC October printable. Hint, hint, it contains some of Sire's images. When is that being released, Kendra? It's one you can tuck stuff into. Basically a diamond pattern. Okay. Oh. I think what you mean. Yeah. Okay. So it's like so it's like a bulletin board, and then there'd be like ribbons or something, and then the ribbons are so tight that you're able to stick things in without using thumbtacks. I think is that if I understand correctly. Strings and ribbons, yeah. Hi, chatty friends. French bulletin, fabric covered bulletin board. Okay. So I didn't need to explain. You guys are doing very well. Yes, awesome. Not a waste of time at all. My cousin has a Frenchie named Elvis. That's absolutely adorable. Send me a picture. Sorry, dyslexic fingers. Okay. You guys are too much. You guys are hilarious. Okay. So I'm not sure if I want to draw a French bulletin board. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes. Perfect. October 2nd. Since the new... Okay, so October 2nd. So I'm not going to say anything then. But yes, hint, hint. I did contribute to something. To the Kendra Card Challenge October printable. And I'm excited. It was a lot of fun to work with Kendra. Okay. Brian's planning on doing a video on a French bulletin from 6 to 6 by 6 cardstock. Hey, Jay, you're right, because I could do a bulletin board, and I got the fish-smelling ephemera of France. Pretty sure there was a Paris thing in here somewhere. And if I stick that onto a bulletin board, French bulletin board. There you go. Right. There we go, France. Okay. I don't want to open it, to be honest. I think I'm done with the smell, so I might air those out later. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to draw something. So we need a bulletin board. So technically, if I were to say a bulletin board were to look like, so technically it's supposed to be something like this. Now this is really rough. I got so used to working with Procreate on the iPads that now drawing straight lines don't look so straight in person. So that would be the start, right? And then you would kind of go this way if you were able to keep your lines consistent, because this would be ribbon. Now, if I actually created my own French bulletin board, it would probably be this haphazard anyway. Haphazard. So I'm thinking you can do something like this, right? Okay. And then I do have these buttons and galore embellishments that you can get in a subscription box almost every month. I do not have an affiliate link, so I'm not going to give you a link. No, just buttonsgaloremore.com. But this was the one I opened up earlier, and I think I got it right. So technically, I could use these if I clean up my lines here. And then I could just put them on the card like that, couldn't I not? Because I think I have too many lines. I'm going to cut them back a bit. But technically, I could do something like that, right? And then that would be like those buttons you push them in, right? Those brads, kind of like that. So then if you kind of line those up, then it will kind of look like, yeah, I think that might work. I mean, if I had a plate that would do this for me instead of me drawing that would save so much time. Do I? Because it's not really fun drawing a line. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Let's see what I have. Color My Life. If any of you use Color My Life, I'm actually a big fan of that. I got a subscription. It's like $2 or something like that. Faceplate. The problem is, okay, I do have one, but it has stars in it. Does that should be okay, right? Stars? Happy Doodle? So this is what something like that, right? But mine's full of stars. Okay, that's a thought. We'll put that aside. Or I can just do something like this. Push pins. Yes, there we go. Okay. You could cut 1/4-inch strips. I think that'd be a smarter idea than drawing it. So I'm going to do that, but that's the idea. So I'm just writing some ideas. I'm just thinking of stuff, but we'll just flip this over and start over. Okay, so now we have an idea. We can use this. We can use strips, which I don't have any strips, but we could. I have these ones. So we could do things like this, right? With color. So that's the idea. So we have those options too. And then what else is next? Beads. So that's my beads. Winter dessert. The color doesn't matter. You can choose whatever colors you want. Or thin washi tape. Okay, yep, thin washi tape would work. Do you have a long sentiment strip die to use like a channel or lay the pearls in? I do not. I do not. Oh, I probably do. Spellbinders. I probably have one of those. And you can lay your pearls in it. I use peel-offs to make mine. Peel-offs. There you go. I got tons of those. Oh, goodness. You guys are just fantastic. You're coming with all the great ideas. Okay. Stripes. Now I just need balloons. Well, balloons are easy. You just have to kind of create a shape like that. Add a little triangle to the bottom and a little string. There we go. We got a balloon. Okay. Balloons or blue? Oh, there's two. So we need two of them. I'm not a big fan of those tall ones. I'm not a big fan, so I'm just going to draw another one. Another one like that. Like that, and we'll just squiggle like that. Okay, so there we go. That's the drawing for today. I conclude my talented drawing skills for the weekend, and we'll continue on to the rest of the card. Okay, so let's just use this. No. Winter desserts. Cookies, right? Cookies, browns. So we'll just use some brown, I guess, right? So usually with these Craft Roulette cards, I just use my Craft Roulette, no, my recollection paper. I just use recollection paper because I never know how they're going to turn out. So what time is it? Oh, 5 minutes. There's no way I'm going to make a card in 5 minutes. So definitely feel free. I know it's getting late around the Pacific Coast, and unless you live on the other side, it's probably getting pretty late. Unfortunately, this is the only time I can fit it in, is on a Monday at 5 p.m. But I do, once again, I really do appreciate you coming in and spending time with me. It means a lot, and I'm sorry that I will look at the chat later and say my thanks personally, because you won't hear me say it, but I really, really appreciate coming for my first one. And I would like to do this more. I just want to make sure it's something that people are actually interested in, and not just wasting time. Although wasting time in the craft room is my favorite thing to do, and having people around is fantastic. I love it. Okay, so I'm thinking if we just... Someone said peppermint brownies. Peppermint brownies. I love it. I love peppermint. If you take one thing from this whole video, if you take one thing and you tell everyone, you say, I met this person, his name is Serge or Serger or something like that. He said something that was so profound I could not forget. He likes peppermint. It's my favorite flavor, and you can remember that. So spread the word. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So I am going to do peppermint brownie. Although I'm not a big fan of this red and brown. Have you ever seen a dessert and then you see that red and you're just like, that kind of seems a little too phony? I feel like that dessert. So you know what? Let's just do our strips and we'll see. Well, I'm going to do strips. I'm going to go fancy. I'm going to do red and white because we're going to do some peppermint swirls. I am a brownie purist. Oh no. So make sure I don't screw this brownie up. So we're going to do, I think, a 1/4 inch is going to be perfect. Yeah, so that bead is about 1/4 inch. And if you don't like the sound of cutting paper, I don't know if this will drown it out. So if you don't, you might want to close your ears. You know what? I'm going to do 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go crazy on this and see where we go. I have an idea. It always comes into my head. This is how it usually works. So you're actually getting to see the process of how I create my cards. This is why it takes me forever to make them. Is because I get an idea, but I never know how I'm going to pull it off. And so I just keep playing and making a mess and starting over and making a mess and starting over. And then finally you come up with a mess that's you can submit. And I think I switched to a different size halfway through. Oh, goodness. No. If I could actually make this a regular occurrence, I think I would probably do either once a month or every 2 weeks. The reason I'd say 2 weeks is only so that I force myself into a routine, which is what I need to do it. But, you know, I would like to have it where I'm creating, spending time with you guys, and I don't do many giveaways just because I'm not against it. It's just I feel that I want people to come chat with me and everyone because they like me, not because of freebies. And so that's why I never do the freebies. My ego can't take it. But it would be nice if I could do freebies for people I know that come and chat and actually like spending time with me. And I have so much stuff that I never use, and why not just share it? Unfortunately, shipping in Canada is atrocious, so I couldn't do it very often either. But I wouldn't mind doing that and just having some fun and doing a lot of different things, like creating a card, just chatting, drawing. All those things would be just what I like doing anyways. And having friends, like I would say that other than the one person who I craft with every Wednesday, I go to her house and I craft every Wednesday, I don't have anyone else around. So online is the only place I have to meet people. And so sometimes I go on to Crafternoon, which is Pear Blossom Press. Shout out to them with the world's best tape, foam tape. World's best foam tape. If you're not familiar with that, check it out. It's fantastic. I go on to her chat, and if I'm free, and I just chat away with other people. And I usually don't get any crafting done because I'm too busy laughing. But it's on Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So check that out if you are free doing nothing. And yeah, so I don't really have anyone. So doing this is nice. It allows me to catch up with people and just have some fun. Although I'm saying that, and I'm not even reading the chat, so I feel really bad. But that's just a learned behavior. I just have to learn how to multitask. No need for freebies. We're here for you. Yeah. It's one of those things that maybe it'd be if it was like my birthday and I was just feeling overzealous. No, that's not the right word. If I felt over generous, maybe. But yeah. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting more strips because I'm going to make it pepperminty with some red and white strips. Oh, it's already 6 o'clock. There we go. So there we go. But I'm just going to go for a little bit longer. But by all means, if you're tired and you need to sleep, definitely thank you so much for joining me today. Your laughter is enough for me. Oh, I love to laugh. I really do. And one of my absolute favorite things in life, and I don't know if you've seen it, but I used to take transit all the time, and so I would just watch. And one of my favorite things to see, and usually it's women, it's just the way it is from what I've experienced, is when there is a communication between two. Usually it's two, and they're telling each other kind of jokes, but it's coming from a deep level of love. It's not making fun of someone. It's not being mean. It's not being attacks or sarcastic or anything like that. It's a deep down connection love, and they're doing it, and they laugh, and that laugh when their face lights up, and you can just see that true happiness. It's not like, oh yeah, it's not like that. It's this, that's hilarious, you're awesome, and I love being with you type response. And I try to give that to people as best as I can. Unfortunately, a lot of times I say things and it makes no sense and people just look at me. But that is what I live by. And it will always be that way. And no matter how much someone makes me angry, no matter how I feel about someone, I will never hurt them. I will always treat them with respect. I will try not to hang out with them. But, you kind of think that for someone to be really miserable, there must be an underlying reason. And I don't want to make that worse. They're already suffering enough to be that way. So I will do my best. I will give my love always, 100%, the best that I can, and then be on my way. Okay, so I'm thinking something like that. This is going to be a lot of work, eh? But now the problem is my beads are too big. That's why I was doing a 1/4 inch. Oh. What about these ones? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's fix this. That's okay. I can snip this in half and I have 2/4, right? Oh. This is fun. There we go. So if I do that, and peppermints are never straight, right? Thanks. Oh, thank you. There we go. Okay. So I might actually switch them to the browns here, if I have enough browns. But if we do that and that, this is going to take friggin' forever, eh? Oh. But this is kind of the idea, right? It's going to be strips like that. I don't even think this one's going to fit. That one's too short. And then I go this way. So I'm going to spread these out. I'm going to need a bigger piece of red for that. Are you kidding me? Make beads with stickles. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any stickles. That's one thing I never got on the bandwagon with. Oh! What about a big, ginormous bottle of buttons? That would work, right? Yeah, there we go. Buttons. Ah, yes. Thank you. Kill them with kindness is what... Yes, exactly. And it really works. You want to know a secret. And it's not a secret. I've heard it many times. If you have someone at work that is difficult for whatever reason, we don't need to understand why. Like we've already discussed, people have underlying problems and for whatever reason, and we don't want to judge that. But if someone is being difficult, one of the best things you can do is just calmly, without saying anything provoking, is just ask them to repeat themselves. And say, I'm sorry, what did you say? And then when they repeat it, you can have two options. One is, what I would say next is you would just say, oh, that actually doesn't feel good. That hurt my feelings. Like, simple as that. And then usually what will happen is they will try to backpedal and say, oh, no, that's not what I meant. You're just being sensitive and stuff. And then all you do is you say nothing. You nod and walk away. That is one of the best ways to do it, because they'll feel so uncomfortable, so unbelievably comfortable, because you didn't feed them anything to work with. And the chances are they may not do that ever again, because they don't like... The whole point people make other people feel bad, whether they're aware of it or not, is because they need to feel good. And they need to win a battle. They need to win these things. So when you don't give them anything, that doesn't feel good. So hope that helps. I hope no one is ever treating anyone badly. That's number one. Okay. I'm just going to create a bit of a longer piece here because I need one to go across. This card is not coming out very well. I think I'm too busy chatty. Okay. Beads or glue meets the beads of glue. Beads of glue meets the parameters too. Aha. Okay. But they're not beads. Right, so they're not beads. However, I could glue beads in the center. You know, I can fancy them up. I have so many of these things. Okay, so yeah, so buttons, thank you, Melissa. Buttons aren't beads per se. Okay. But beads of glue. Beads of glue is one of those ways I would just kind of say, I really need to cement my card, and so I'm going to use bead of glue. That's my last resort. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I still think he should bail on the project and just draw us a monster. Oh, well, I can do that. Do you want me to draw a monster instead? This card's going nowhere. I just was wanting to glue some stuff. Let's draw a monster. I'm just going to kind of push. How about a monster holding a balloon? So that maybe I can use this card for later. A monster card. There we go. Okay. So monsters, they can look like anything. Those actually have spilt before. So it does spill. So I'm just going to move that over because you just made that comment. So now I'm kind of worried. Okay, so is there any type of monster preference you have? Draw an Eiffel Tower in a frame. Okay, how about this? How about this? Scrap all this nonsense. Peppermint brown. Who came up with peppermint brownies? Okay. Oh no, we still need to color. So yes, sorry, peppermint brownies. That's perfect. Okay. Frame, Eiffel Tower, monster, balloons. Okay. So I'm going to erase this balloon. And I probably will use paper to do the frame, but just so that we have an outline, let's just say, you know, here's the frame. Because what I'll probably do is, after coloring it, I'll cut it down and then mat it to another layer. I love doing that. And so that would be my frame. And then what you kind of need is you kind of have to have a hill of some sort, because I'm pretty sure the Eiffel Tower sits on the hill. Oh goodness. It doesn't. I know it doesn't. There's a river and stuff, but okay. And the Eiffel Tower is kind of like a triangle, isn't it? Is the Eiffel? Oh, no. Yeah, it's a triangle. But it kind of doesn't go like that. Kind of how the Eiffel Tower is. Have your monster wearing a strand of beads. Okay, you guys are good. The only thing is about that is I have so many of these things, I'm trying to get rid of them. And my solution is always just draw it. Okay, so I think I'm looking at a reference. It kind of goes on a rounded corner like that. And then it gets to the top. And then you have this little piece here. And it goes like that. And then I think there's like 2 tiers. Tier. And then a tier like that. And then it's kind of rounded like that. So that's your basic shape. And there's probably a little antenna on it. So that's my background Eiffel Tower. And then it's probably all just a bunch of crosses. So then you would have lines like that. So there you go. There's my, man, you guys are good. Coming up with this. Like that. There's my Eiffel Tower. So that was the easy thing. So next, what I need to do is I got to think of a monster. What kind of monster are we looking at? Make your lines with those with sire and make a dent in the container. Make a line, yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm probably just going to take a piece of paper and just glue them all to the piece of paper. So I feel better. Jen, I bet you anything if I put a peppermint smell in the ephemera, I would never be able to use it. The scent of fish and peppermint would be so unbearing that I would probably give it as a free gift to a friend. Okay, so what I'm thinking is this is going to be like a snapshot. A chonky, grumpy monster. A Godzilla climbing the tower. Okay. A cute monster. Oh, a cute monster. A one-eyed with a French beret. Cross marks or French bulletin board. Yep. Okay. So I will try to do a cute, one-eyed, grumpy monster. Let's try that. Cute, one eye. Okay. So I'm just going to do a basic shape. Well, first off, I need my balloon. So I'm going to draw my balloon like that. And then I'm going to have, because the person who's taking the picture doesn't know how to take pictures. And so he's off. But he's so happy to be. No, wait, he's grumpy. He's so happy, but grumpy. So we need that one eyebrow. Okay. I might not put the smile. We need to have a happy but can't admit it. Can't. Yeah, we'll figure it a smile. There we go, little half smirk. And then he has his little arm here, which is going to be pretty short, but he's a monster, so who cares, right? There we go. And then if we want, we can kind of add some hair to make him a little more fuzzy. And he has a cheek. There you go. Oh, that's so fun. Okay, so this is he's like what if the eyes should be bigger? Wonder if the eye should, or the eye should be higher. Whatever, let's go with it. Okay, and then pretty much all I do is I just take my pen and I just draw it. So what I'll start with is the guy, because he's in the utmost front. And then I'll just kind of okay. And then we have his little mustache. Or sorry, that's not a mustache. This is just ginormous eyebrow. You know, I'm going to switch to the thicker one. I thought I had the thicker one. And then we just kind of have his little cheeks here, and then his little smirk. And then his eyes. There we go. And then we'll just color that in. So this is his cute part, but he's grumpy. Do you believe me? You don't want to cross him. He's waited in line for like 3 hours just to get a picture this far away from the Eiffel Tower. And then his friend didn't even do the right job. So he's not to be, he's grumpy. Okay, so we're just going to add his fur, kind of going back over. I'm only redoing this because I want to have it in the thicker line. Oops. Whatever. So that's what happens when you fill it in before you're done. Your hand can trace it, but that's okay. I can either erase that, or when I'm coloring it, it'll just kind of hide it. Then he got his arm with claws, and he's holding his balloon. Oh, I need 2 balloons, right? So here's the first one. And then the second one. I'll just try to free draw it. There we go. Okay. And then for the Eiffel Tower, I'll do the outline first with a thicker one. And then we don't want to go all the way through. And I'm just rushing it, so it's not going to be perfect, but you know what? I prefer mine not being perfect. I like the wavy lines, I like the curvy stuff and stuff. I can't relate to him. I once saw a nose in my driveway, took a picture. That's funny. Okay, now this might be a little wet still. Yeah, I forgot that I don't usually do that, but so this is going to erase some of the frame, but like I said, it doesn't matter. Oops, that was my... Okay. And then so when you do things like this, I forgot to fill in the rest of it. We want to put our land back in there. And then I'll just take this one and do the lines that I just erased because I forgot. But I'm going to use the smaller one just because it's getting that nice fine line. If you use the thicker one, it will be probably too dark. But it doesn't take too long to, there we go. Ooh la la. And if you really wanted to, you can kind of just do a little fancy border here. You know, if you like those type of things. And I'm just using the tip of my pen to drag it down. Now I could choose to cut this off because I've already made the plans to do that. There we go. And if you want to go really fancy, you can just do the 2 lines, which I really love. And you just kind of just move it just enough that it makes the difference. I love this. This is one of my favorite little borders. If you can find a stamp that does this, that's so much easier. You know what? I think I'm going to have a little bit of lines here because his head looks like it's kind of... There we go. And the eraser is doing a pretty good job of removing some of that smudgy lines that I did with my hand. So, like I said, I'm never worried about it. Worst case scenario, I just draw it again. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not reading the chat. I get carried away. But there we go. So we have an Eiffel, and if this is a bulletin, we said that, right? A frame that is a bulletin. We technically have our stripes there. And we have balloons and beads. The beads was the only thing. Well, you know what? This is what always ends up being the case. I could just put a bead right in the very top there. So now I just have to color it peppermint. So that's it. It is 6:30. I don't want to make you guys wait any longer. It is getting late, and I'm so happy that you guys came along. I am going to read the chat and see if there's anything I missed. But thank you so much. So I showed you some stuff that I purchased. We had some fun coloring. We wasted time cutting strips of paper that we're not going to use, but I had a great time. And I hope you all had a good time. I don't know if when I'll create the next one, but I will probably be live on October 6th, I think, with Lynn and some others for the Kendra Card Challenge, I believe. So I will definitely be live then. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. This was a lot of fun. You made it so easy for me to just be able to speak and not be afraid. So enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you have a great one. Take care. Bye.